Why OpenShift? Simplified Kubernetes management, then built-in security. CI/CD tools are already integrated with the GitOps, Tekton, and OpenShift pipelines. It is supported on multi-cloud and hybrid. It can be set up on on-premises, VMware, Azure, the GCP, AWS, and Alibaba Cloud as well. So we can see the OpenShift is quite much familiar with the telcos and the banking system insurance providers as well. They are using the OpenShift platform as their Kubernetes solution towards. Okay. So what are the prerequisites? We need to have some knowledge about how to run a Docker container, what is Docker container, and what is image actually. That is more than enough if we talk about the Docker. And if you are not familiar with the Kubernetes, that is also okay, that we are going to cover some of the Kubernetes core Kubernetes objects like secrets, config map PVCs, stateful sets, and then deployment and the Helm chart as well. This is the prerequisite set for this OpenShift course. The most important minimum hardware requirement for this creation of OpenShift local cluster is that you must have at least 16 gig of RAM and the 2-core processor. IM5 is fine. For bare metal clusters, the handling the issues will remain the same. Troubleshooting the application will remain the same. And when we talk about the bare metal clusters, cloud hosted clusters, so it's a kind of thing that your platform is only getting changed, but your OpenShift software remains the same. That means your platform will change. Let's say your cluster is hosted on VMware, AWS platform will change. But on top of that platform, the OpenShift world remains the same. And when we talk about bare metal creation of cluster, there are different kind of strategies that are involved while creation of the bare metal cluster. You can create bare metal cluster by using assisted installer. You can create bare metal clusters by using agent based installer, or you can create your bare metal clusters by using a Red Hat Advanced Cluster Management Console directly from there. You just need to fill up the form and meet some prerequisites. After that, you need to attach that ISO to your hardware by using the ILO and everything. Boot up that volume, your one of the node would be ready. So such kind of different strategies are there for deployment of the OpenShift cluster. Also, your cluster can be connected to the internet, or it can't be connected to the internet. We call it as air-gapped environment. To set up that air-gapped environment, first you need to have a kind of local repository from where it's going to download the packages if your cluster is in air-gapped environment. So overall, what I want to say, the different strategies would be there for the installation, but only cloud provider will change. The OpenShift handling or OpenShift administration will remain the same throughout the different cloud providers. Either it would be ARO, Azure Red Hat OpenShift, ROSA, you say, or the self-managed OpenShift cluster, which is hosted on bare metal or the VMware. Product will remain the same. Also, for each chapter, you will get a kind of notes. So this is unit 2, and the unit 2 we are going to discuss about the deploy applications from manifest by using the YAML file, how to deploy an application by using the YAML file. Second, how to deploy it by using container images. Then Helm installation, how to install Helm, what is the structure of Helm repo, what is the understanding towards the Helm, what are the different types of strategies that we use here in the Helm, and why to use Helm rather than directly deploying your YAML into your cluster. So such kind of notes you will get, how to use the Helm chart, cleanup, and then what are the different application deployment strategies, the rolling out applications, scaling applications, handling rollbacks, so rolling update, recreate blue green. So such kind of topics you are going to get here. And along with this, you will get a GitHub repo from where you can consume all the YAML files or the required documentation or a lab that we need to perform to get ourselves familiar with the hands-on, we can do it. If you can handle the OpenShift cluster on AWS, you can handle the cluster on bare metal, on VMware, on any cloud platform. This is my local OpenShift cluster, you can see recent events. So this is the overview of your cluster where you will get what kind of issues or what kind of events are there. CRC means code ready container, and this cluster is hosted on my laptop. Can you imagine? You can set it this OpenShift cluster on your laptop as well. The only requirement is you must have 16 plus GB of RAM and a 2-core processor.
How do we design the cluster? So these are the things which is we as architects, we need to design. How do you dimensioning the cluster? How many control nodes, worker nodes you will because when people will ask, they ask the architecture. All these things like how will you decide that what will be your dimension? What are the performance criteria? So something, do we have that kind of things?
Okay, so when you start designing your cluster, ideally it depends on what type of workload that you are going to deploy on it. So let's say if your application requirement is something kind of one application is having 4 pods, okay, and each pod needs a requirement of something 4 GB of RAM. So 4 into 16, 4 into 4, it will be 16 GB. So that kind of first you will calculate your compute capacity. Once that compute capacity is done, you will purchase the hardware. And once that hardware is purchased, or once if you have decided that you want to go into the bare metal stuff or you want to go into the cloud managed, then it's quite easy to change the instance types as well. If your cluster is AWS hosted, if your nodes are over provisioned, you can change the instance types here. Designing of the OpenShift cluster totally depends on what type of application that you want to deploy on top of it. So this is the prerequisites. Second, if you are going to deploy couch-based database on top of it, so you will need to have higher IOPS. So such kind of higher IOPS or higher type of instances, yeah, that you must have with yourself. Let's say AWS IO1 is providing higher IOPS than GP2 and GP3. So such kind of OS volumes you need to have with you, means while you provision your cluster, you need to have that IO1 as your OS disk. So such kind of planning is should be already in place so that you don't get into the issues.
And there is no pipeline, like a Terraform is not a provider, but there should be some automation piece, like you would be able to, like a Jenkins or any sort of, pipeline mechanism, how we are going to do the automation and disaster recovery, because we need to create the cluster into different regions, high availability side. So how do we do the deployment in automation fashion? So we don't have any, how do you deploy using the pipeline? Is any solution we have, like you are doing the Helm chart for the deployment for the application, but how do you deploy the cluster in an automated way?
So once you have the Red Hat subscription with you, Red Hat gives you the access of console.redhat.com. So from the hybrid console of the OpenShift, you can create a cluster from that console, and there is an option.
Red Hat means it is hosted in Red Hat server? Is that what
Yes,
we are?
Red Hat has a website. On that website, you have the option to create a cluster.
But what if we want that cluster into EC2 machine, or sorry, in AWS?
It's possible over from there only. This is Red Hat Hybrid Cloud Console, and you can see console.redhat.com. Okay, and here is select an OpenShift cluster type to create. This is the hybrid console from which you can deploy your cluster on any cloud platform. This is cloud, data center, local. We have chosen here local, and all other options would be available there.
Then this Red Hat console needs to have a connectivity to the AWS environment, accounts and everything in order to have that.
Yes, if you don't have a connectivity for bare metal installation, that can be done via agent-based installation or the assisted installer. See here, cloud. I have selected OpenShift dedicated trial. This is available on GCP, OpenShift dedicated. You can click on create cluster. Then from here, you need to select different various options are provided there. There will be a documentation where resource requirements are available over there, and a service account should exist with the admin privileges.
So this service account should exist in the AWS, in the role?
AWS.
So AWS role should exist here. Okay.
And this is Azure Red Hat OpenShift. This is a cloud managed solution provided by Red Hat that we call it as ARO, and this is Red Hat OpenShift dedicated. OpenShift dedicated here in ARO, you will not have access to your master nodes. This will be totally managed by the Azure. And when it comes to the dedicated, that means you have the master nodes access, you have the worker nodes access, everything. You are the responsible for management of your OpenShift cluster in Red Hat OpenShift dedicated. So when you host your OpenShift cluster in VMware, bare metal, AWS, when you create your OpenShift cluster on top of EC2 instances, then you are solely responsible to manage your OpenShift cluster. When it comes to ROSA and ARO, these are cloud native or cloud managed solutions provided by Red Hat. So you can see run your OpenShift clusters on by installing from another cloud provider, Alibaba, AWS. So different kind of cloud providers are available over here. Data center, let's say bare metal option is there. Then vSphere, VMware is there. So when you click on create, so you can create on OpenShift cluster, agent-based installer is there. Agent-based means what? It will pack the installation files into an ISO. You need to download that ISO and you need to attach that ISO to your hardware. Once you attach that ISO to your hardware, your OS will boot and your nodes will come up here as master node or worker node. So such kind of hybrid console is provided by the Red Hat. You can see OpenShift installer. You just need to follow the instructions which are provided on this Red Hat hybrid console. And when it comes to the installation part of the OpenShift, Red Hat solution architect will first engage you in a call where you are going to put your requirements, and then he will design a high level architecture design for you, the Red Hat's architect, and that will be presented to you based on your requirements. Let's say if your cluster is internet facing or connected to the internet, then what are the connections that are not allowed? Or let's say you want a proxy in between internet communication or a plain communication, or you are going to deploy your cluster in a disconnected environment, and we call it as air gapped environment where internet access is not allowed to the cluster. So such kind of many prerequisites you have to present it to the Red Hat's team. Then they will present you a high level design your organization, and then the person from the Red Hat, if it's a bare metal, will visit the premises and will start the installation for you. So such kind of installation is there. Earlier the OpenShift installation courses were present from the Red Hat itself, but I see those courses are now deprecated and are not being used. Yeah, thank you.